Well, as a native Tulsan who's kind of come back to Tulsa, I'll tell you what I've done, and I think it's a really good thing for the city of Tulsa to do as well, is I'm kind of rediscovering the city. And in the process, I'm using social media to kind of not only remind myself of some of these historic locations like the Mayo and like the Ambassador Hotel and some of the wonderful spots that have been kind of revised in downtown, but also to share with my friends and my followers on Twitter and Facebook and Foursquare who may not even be from Tulsa, but in the same time I'm highlighting some of the best things to go to and visit and do in Tulsa. Oh, it's shocking how many people don't know. We checked in, of course, here today at the Penthouse Bar at the Mayo, and tons of people have already responded, oh, I'm so jealous, I've never been there. So, it is a way to rediscover Tulsa and also to showcase what Tulsa and downtown Tulsa especially has to offer. I think social media has really changed the game. You used to have to spend lots of money and do lots of campaigns to get people aware. Now you simply have to just do the thing, right? You have to go to the place and talk about it. My mother and I often go down to Maud's on Wednesday night for the $2 gelatos, and we check in there, and so many people on Facebook and Twitter and Foursquare always say, oh, I'm so jealous. But you just in doing the thing, in visiting the spots, you make people aware of what's happening here in downtown. Okay. Well, that's exactly what we've done with Social Media Tulsa. We had our first event in June, and this is only our third event, and we have over 60 people RSVP'd. And most of the people are either kind of the social media elite, if you will, locally, or even people who understand that they should know something about social media. And really, you have to be in the space. You have to be on Twitter, you have to be on Facebook, and you can't just be there sending out, oh, go to this place downtown. You have to be social. Okay. You actually have to talk to people and communicate with people who are in the space. So, for example, I follow a list on Twitter for anybody who mentions Tulsa. Now, doesn't that make sense? Yeah. If you're interested in what's happening in Tulsa? So anytime somebody mentions Tulsa, I get an update. Now, I can either invite them to one of my events, or I can share what they're doing with my audience, or I can just laugh at whatever funny thing they're doing in Tulsa. But I think the first thing the city of Tulsa can do is just listen to what everybody is already saying about their city. I think downtown Tulsa is crucial to the city of Tulsa. I think the revitalization with the One Oak, with the baseball field, with the revitalization and the historic relevance of all of these buildings and many of the buildings, and particularly the Greenwood area kind of revitalization, I think it's critical for Tulsa to start to tell those stories. And really that's what social media allows you to do, is tell the story and share what's happening in your city. Wow, that's a pretty loaded question, and you'll have several people say we have to hire somebody to get them started. But I think the first thing is to listen. Right? Hire a chief listening officer, if you will, and just do what I explained earlier, is find out what people are already saying. I always like to tell people that social media is good if you have a little paranoia, right? Because people are already talking about you. Just go in and listen to the conversation. Find out, gauge, what's the conversation? Is it good? Is it bad? Is there a way for you to influence the conversation that's already being taken place? So what the city of Tulsa should do is, one, listen first, and then find out where they can create a strategy to then jump into the social media space as well. Oh, that's a great question. In fact, before I even moved back to Tulsa, I would follow people from Tulsa to find out what they're doing. There are several places. Tulsa Food Blog, talks about some of the best restaurants in Tulsa, and that's one of the ways I found out about a lot of places that we're now going as Social Media Tulsa for our meetup group. So there are tons of bloggers and people who are tweeting about what to do in Tulsa. All you have to do is follow them, and you'll find out some of the good things that are happening. You know, I do follow the Tulsa World and some of the kind of news stations here in Tulsa, but I find that they tend to talk about news and not necessarily what's happening unless it's already happened. But I do think following local bloggers, the Twitter community is really strong here in Tulsa. You can follow hashtags. There's that little pound sign before you see a word. You can check # Tulsa, or you can follow our group as # SM Tulsa. Find out where our people are going and what they're doing, and become part of our community, and we'll certainly tell you what's happening here.